What's going on, guys? It's Adam here, bringing you some more Dark Souls 2 PvP action. Want to showcase my new build I've been using. It took me a little while to put this together, but it's been turning out really well. It's a poison build. I call it the Poison Prince build. Alright. Poison, you don't see a lot of poison builds, and you don't see a lot of bleed builds because they're very hard to use. They're not easy compared to just buff heavy damage melee builds or some stuff like that. You see like a lot of sorcerer, hexer, miracle type builds, but you don't see a lot of poison or bleed builds, and it's very understandable. It took me a little while to get this thing to work properly, this build specifically, because I had to really go through a lot of different weapons and see what is viable for PvP. And unfortunately, there's not a lot. Like, you want to be able to keep on the opponent, you want fast attacks, you want to use stuff that's gonna work. And I tried so many of the poison weapons and stuff, and unfortunately not all of it works. But yeah, so this is what I came up with. Alright, so we got the Manslayer infused with poison, so it does a fuck ton of damage. It works very well. It usually takes about, I'd say, 4 to 5 slashes or pokes to inflict poison on them. Now, as you're doing that, it also scales B with dexterity, because it's been lowered because of the infusion and such. But B is not too bad. If you got Ring of Blades on there also, it's very good. And yeah, so that works pretty good. You got the good, awesome katana moveset. The range isn't the best on that katana. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's good. It's good for poking. And yeah, a lot of people probably watching this video, they're gonna be like, "Oh, look at that! That's fucking lame play." There's not like a heavy moveset for any of the weapons in Dark Souls. Okay, it's just not the way it is. There's not a ton of viable movesets you can use in PvP. Strong attacks for katanas are pretty much useless in PvP, just because they're so damn slow, predictable, and they have a small hitbox. It's like a big poke, wind up. It's not useful, okay? The katanas, the normal slashes are good, the running's good, and the rolling's good. The jumping's kind of okay with everything, a little better with some. But the katana, I don't really like to use the jumping too much because it seems like kind of it's just a smaller hitbox than I'd like. So, off topic there, that's just to clear that up, because I know some people are going to be saying that or something. You know what, it is what it is. If you don't like the video, then that's cool. You know, that's cool, that's your opinion. Alright, but I like the video, and that's why I made it, and I like this build. So, yeah, I'm just showcasing here, like, how you can use this build. I went through the Manslayer, and in my right hand, I have the Black Steel Katana. Now, the Black Steel has amazing scaling. At this level, this is a 175 build, and you're probably thinking, well, why not 150? Because 150 for a specialty build like this is kind of difficult, because you lose out on a lot of poison damage, because you have to invest in extra points into like adaptability and dexterity to get that poison damage up so it builds up faster. And at the lower levels, it's just it's not there. I was trying, I had to bump it up a little bit to make it usable. What else? So on this build, this 175, we got 60 dexterity, and that's pretty crazy. That brings up the Black Steel though to 402 damage, and the Manslayer brings up a bit too, but what it mainly does for the Manslayer, what I wanted it to do, was to bring up the poison damage. So that's awesome. It sets in, like I said, fairly fast. Usually, I'd say 4 to 5, depending on their defenses, of course. Maybe even 3. I've poisoned people pretty fast with this, and it works very effective. It's great for mind games. And since you got both katanas, you can switch up to just the one if you want to do the damage and such. If you want to just roll with the Manslayer, or you just want to roll with the Black Steel, you can two-hand it. But I keep them both like that because I like to buff the Black Steel with poison, because it's the damage, it's the heavy damage weapon. Okay, what the main issue I was finding with poison builds when I first made my poison build for PvP is it's really hard to finish people off with my poison weapons, because the scaling's been lowered, the damage is lower. It's all about getting that poison on them. But the thing with PvP is lag issues and such like that. It makes it very easy to just take poison moss. So if you worked so damn hard, you worked your fucking butt off to get this poison on this guy, you took some hits, and now it's going, it's finally going, and then he backs up, you run and you attack him, you hit him, but for some reason he managed to get the poison moss on him still. And it happens because the lag, it doesn't register your attack hitting them before they consume their consumable, and it's really stupid, and it makes it hard to use poison builds and bleed builds and stuff like that, because reasons like that. So that's why you don't really see a lot of them. So you need some kind of heavy damage weapon. See, the way I do it is I poison them. I'll buff my black steel with rotten pine resin, so that I can do some heavy damage if I need to, but also keep my poison bar going. And then I keep the Manslayer, of course. That's the heavy poison builder. I throw that on. I use that a few times, then maybe I'll throw in a black steel shot here and again. It won't raise the poison as much, but it does it enough, and it delivers a heavy hit of damage. That keeps them from getting silly, keeps the opponent guessing, and then once I inflict poison, I two-hand my black steel, and then I go in for the kill. Running attacks, rolling attacks, and you just gotta stay on them and pretty much finish them, because they're usually gonna do a few things. They're gonna go for poison moss, which is it's pretty much a free shot. You can get a running attack. If you are close enough to walk, you can get the 2-hit combo, which is the standard R1 R1. Or they're gonna S this, and you know what? If they S this, same thing. So you just gotta kind of keep on them. Also, this build has 45 endurance, because I'd also say, after playing with it for as long as I have now, I'd say maybe increase it even more. Maybe just bring the whole build up to 180 if you have to. Give them extra 5 points into endurance, because you really gotta stay on them. And it comes down to a point, you're running attack, you're rolling attack, you're trying to poison them, and then they get poisoned, and you're super low on stamina, and you can't follow up with an attack. That happens now and again, not overly too much or anything like that, but it does happen, and it sucks. So if you could, I'd say maybe increase your stamina a little bit, but it's not the biggest deal. I did pretty well with this. I went on a pretty awesome kill streak. This is just showcasing the build, so don't worry, there were some losses here and there, but this is just showcasing a bunch of the wins. Not all the wins, because unfortunately my PVR, or my video editing program, is just kind of like ass right now, and a lot of the clips are getting fudged up and shit. So I just said fudge instead of fuck, and then I said shit after that. Okay. I don't know what I was trying to do. Okay, so back to the build. Yeah, so 45 endurance, and you can see it's a fun little build. It's fun, and it's actually good for dealing with high-level PvP, because even if they're heavy armor dudes. I fought a few heavy armors. That's not gonna stop the poison. Once the poison's set, it's set. Alright, and the defenses for like poison resistance and stuff on the heavy armors is it seems to be very similar to anything else, so I'm usually able to set it in. I set it on a Havel. I'll see if I can get the clip up. It wasn't working with the video, but I set it on a Havel, and he was done. He didn't know what to do. he's just a heavy armor build. It was a Havel caster, of course, and yeah, it just set it on him, and just like anything else, just ticked away his health, tick 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 tick, and you can sit back for a few and wait to see what they're gonna do, or you can keep on them like I like to do with the black steel, and just do damage as soon as soon as they try to get away or heal or moss it up. I keep a few things on me. You're probably saying why I don't keep a bow on me. I'm not really big into the bows. They're fairly effective, but I don't like just pulling them out, because you gotta pull them out, then you gotta like ready them up, and then you gotta shoot. You lose some stamina, and then if they run in on you or roll past you, then you're kind of in trouble up close. Now, this wouldn't always be the case, but it seems like 90% of people I come across have 110 agility now, because there's no limitations on what your build can have. So everyone's just, you know, roll crazy, do whatever they want. So unfortunately, I'm not big into the bows because of reasons like that. Easy to dodge, and it's a waste of my stamina when I can just be using that to run up with my manslayer and continue the fight. I do like to keep the poison throwing knives on me. They do a pretty substantial amount of poison damage, and it's good if they're just at a distance doing something silly, or they whiff an attack. You hit them with a few of those and it'll build up, and then you just go in for the kill with the manslayer. Well, go in for setting the poison at least. Yeah, you know, it's a pretty fun build. I've been enjoying it. I'm gonna continue it. There's some other stuff you can use, like you can use dung pies. Sorry, getting a little brain farty right there. Yeah, you can use dung pies if you want. They build up poison slower from what I believe, because it also builds toxicity up. So I use those now and again. It seems to be a little easier to land those because they're kind of just like a quick toss, but the poison darts do more poison damage, so it's really up to you. The rings I have equipped with this build are Crest of the Rat, Stone Ring, because, well, the Crest of the Rat is because you need that extra poison damage. That gives you a ton of extra poison damage. I think it's 60, and that's really awesome. The Stone Ring is because katana user, you want to break poise, and really the katanas aren't the greatest for breaking poise, especially against heavy armors, but if you have the Stone Ring on, they work wonders against heavy armors. I'm talking, you're cutting Havels off in the middle of their attack before they can attack, and that's awesome. That's very good, especially with running attacks, so you do that. That'll keep them at bay. It's good for stun locking, stuff like that. So I also have third dragon ring on this guy, as most builds do. It's a terrific ring. It brings my endurance up and all that. And Ring of Blades +2 for the extra damage. That's almost, those two are pretty much a given. I think most people use those unless they're like a serious caster build or something. Now I have the moon butterfly helmet or hat, I don't know what you call it. I have that on there because it's good for when you're up close, you're delivering poison, so you want to get a little bit of extra poison, but it's also good for if you're just running around them. Maybe you roll past them, you can do a little bit of poison damage. I find it's more useful for keeping the poison going instead of just raising it. It's very slow at raising the bar. So I use it mainly for, I know I'm going to get up close in their face, and if I have enough stamina, I'll just run up by them and maybe like roll past them just to kind of keep the bar going. It's not so much as setting the poison, but it will if you're doing combos up close like that. Like it's pretty cool. It's very low defense though, so it's up to you if you want to use it. I've been finding it effective. I'm gonna try without it maybe in the future and see how well I do without it. See if it's a similar thing, then there's really no reason to use it. But hey, a little bit of extra poison damage while you're comboing, it's very helpful. You know, it's very helpful, and it's good for keeping that poison bar going. What else do I use? Now, at the beginning of the video, you've seen that I was using the steel gauntlets. I switch out between those and the engraved gauntlets because the steel gauntlets are awesome defense, really, really good. But the engraved gauntlets are also very good because it helps with damage if you get lucky. The defense is horrible, but if you get lucky, it's very solid. And I'm pretty sure it 1.5s the poison damage also. So you'll get the standard damage increase, then the poison damage, so that it'll just boom, boost the bar up. And that's very, very effective. But of course, it's if you're feeling lucky. So if you're not feeling lucky throwing steel gauntlets, if you are, you want to have some fun with the engraved, do it up. So yeah, I just wanted to say thanks for checking out my Poison Prince build. And thanks for checking out the videos, guys. Stay honorable.